She's outspoken. She's not afraid to ask tough questions. She's not afraid to speak her mind. You've read her column. Maybe you're a fan on Facebook. No topic is off limits. Straight to the point. There's no chaser. You're now watching Straight Talk with Carla Zuill.
And we're back here at the luxurious Grotto Bay Resort, filming a special edition of Straight Talk with Carla Zuill. With us, we have relationship expert, Mr. Tony Gaskins, Jr. Now, Mr. Gaskins, let's talk about relationships. I'm a little older than you, but many of my female friends feel that there are not many good men out there. I talk to my American friends, they feel the same, European, the same. What's going on in our generation, do you think?
I think we're just kind of being controlled, you know, the messages we see, what's on TV, what's in the magazines, and we believe it, you know. There's been a sense of scarcity created, which makes people desperate, you know, particularly women get desperate. And when you are desperate for love in a relationship and marriage, you make bad decisions. You know, it's a weak disposition to be in. And so women are settling, you know, you're settling and you feel like, oh, if I don't stand up for myself, or if I stand up for myself, I'm gonna push him away. You know, he's gonna run and I'll be single and lonely. And we see that, and men with power show that online. You know, someone with 4 million followers will tweet a picture that shows a woman sitting on a park bench as a skeleton, you know, and it'll say, waiting for the right man, you know, and that just, all those impressions, you know, it influences.
But we're at a time now where the messages are coming from every angle, every media, sometimes messages we don't even realize we're receiving. How do you try to stay above that, or to permeate the filter?
Right. You can't watch it. You know, you really have to guard what goes in your ears and what goes in your eyes. Me personally, I don't watch reality TV, especially reality TV with a message, you know, like something that will influence me. If I'm watching reality TV, it's like a game show, you know, or somebody hunting or something. And then I don't listen to rap music, you know. I don't listen to the music, and so I don't give in to the music and the television. And so I watch, I guard my eyes and my ears, because I know that's the quickest route to my mind. But when people are seeing, you know, these reality shows on VH1 and Bravo and Oxygen, and it's these people, they're arguing, they're fussing, they're fighting over a man is beating on them and they're okay with it, a man cheating on them, they're okay with it. It just kind of programs us to say, this is what love is, this is what a relationship is, this is what life is. And we find ourselves accepting that too. So, you know, you have to look within yourself, and then you have to set your own standards based on how you want to be treated. So that's what I do, and that's what I try to help others do.
Do you feel that a wounded person can have real love eventually? And what steps can they take to attain that?
A wounded person can, but you can't have real love if you're wounded. You have to heal. And so you have to understand what that healing looks like. So if I cut my arm, I understand that healing looks like cleaning it, putting a sob on it, putting a Band-Aid on it, and cleaning it every day. And so if my heart has been broken, I understand that means taking time apart, away from relationships, spending time with myself, talking to myself, loving myself. The sob would be like hiring a life coach, a relationship coach, and getting some outside input from someone who is living what I want, and getting that, you know, regularly, and taking that time. And then eventually the wounded heart becomes a healed heart, because you've received new knowledge, you've had time and you've had space away from relationships, so you're not being hurt over and over again. And now you relearn how to love yourself and what love is, what a relationship is. Then you're able to move forward. And so that's how you heal. And when you heal, that's when you're ready to deal. And so you attract what you have become.
Now, I heard you say coaching, and I know that there's a difference between coaching and counseling. What's the difference?
The difference is that counseling is clinical, and you can actually diagnose someone. You know, it's almost like a counselor doesn't have to have any life experience in what they're talking about, because they can read a book and take a test and then sit down in front of you. But if they don't have that life experience, they lack the the intuition, and also a lot of times the passion. And in order to help someone change, they have to feel that you really feel. You know, they don't care how much you know, they care how much you care. And so as a coach, it's more so a passion thing. It's about passion, it's about pain being birthed into purpose, and a mess becoming a message. And so you work from a place of passion and from a place of heart. I'm not trying to clinically diagnose you. I just want to hear you, understand you, feel you, and then help guide you to where you need to be. So for me, that's the difference between counseling and coaching. This is a calling, whereas counseling, you can just come.
Now, you've been in various parts of the world. With the people that you've interacted, have you found that relationships issues vary from place to place, or is there a commonality no matter where you are in the world?
There's a commonality.
And what is that?
It's all that everywhere is the same, that we all learn love and experience love the same, that love is a universal language. There are mistresses in Bermuda, there's mistresses in Bahamas, there's mistresses in the US. You know, there's lying, cheating, deceiving, manipulating, domestic violence, all over. It's all the same. And so I've coached individuals on relationships from the age of 16 to the age of 68 on 6 different continents, and it's all the same. We misunderstand what love is and what a relationship is, and we have to have people who have it and who live it to express it. And
what is love?
It's painless, but it's first loving yourself, meaning setting standards for your life, identifying how you want to be treated, and then becoming the person that you want to attract. And then when you find that person, being selfless enough to lead in love, to love them the way they deserve to be loved, but to demand that they reciprocate your love. And if they don't reciprocate that love, loving yourself enough to walk away, knowing that they're not on your level and you will soon attract what you deserve. So loving essentially is just being and doing. It's not some grand definition, and I don't think we'll ever be able to fully put it into words, but it's knowing that you were created to love and to be loved and not settling for less.
Now, you talked about how basically you filter out certain things, what you watch, for example. It almost sounds like you're suggesting that if someone wants to live in love as such, or be committed to that love, that they basically need to not live in a bubble, but they need to filter out certain things. That seems so difficult to do, particularly at a time when everything in life now seems to be about relationships. So when it comes to cheating, for example, is it an immaturity thing? Is it a flash thing? Because I've heard men say it's impossible for a man to stay loyal to one woman. When do men grow out of that? Is there a time for that?
I don't think a man grows out of it until he identifies his purpose. When he finds out who he is and why he's here, and he realizes that that means more than his feelings, his fleshly desires. So I'm faithful to my wife, not just because I love her, but because I fear God, and because I'm working for someone who I know is watching me daily. And I'm sitting here and he's using me and he's speaking through me in a way that 30-year-old black men from the hood don't speak. And I know that it's not me. So I realized that I have to be aligned. And in order to be aligned and to receive this divine inspiration, I have to have things filtered out of my life, and I have to live and carry myself in a way so that that channel is clear and it's open. And when you experience that power and you walk in that power, you don't play with that power. So it's the fear of God that keeps me faithful. And until a man fears something bigger than himself, then he'll do what comes natural.
Okay. There's a book that I carry around with me on my iPhone, The 5 Love Languages. Do you believe in that concept, that men and women need to learn what each other's love language is?
Most definitely, most definitely. My wife and I, we didn't understand love languages. We didn't know what it was. So she was loving me the way she wanted to be loved, and I was loving her the way I wanted to be loved. And we were loving one another wrong. So for my birthday, she would plan a night at the club to dance with friends. when really I'm dinner and the movies type. And then for her birthday, I would plan dinner and the movies when really she's go to the theme park, ride roller coasters, and then go dancing. So we had to understand how to love one another and to speak that language and to love a person the way they need to be loved, not the way you want to be loved.
Thank you for being here with us today. But before we say goodbye, how have you found your stay in Bermuda?
I've been blown away by Bermuda. You know, just the beauty, the people. It's very laid back. It's my type of country. Laid back, chill, relaxed. You know, I love it. The people are nice. And then the scenery is just like God just touched it. You know, everything's beautiful. Okay. I love it.
Well, Bermuda's glad to have you. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of Straight Talk. I'm Carla Zuill, here at the luxurious Grotto Bay Resort. We'd like to thank them for having us here this evening, and we'll see you next week.